Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kalia for those who do not know me, and if you don't know me, you are about to learn all about me in this video. So this is episode 4 of my mental health series, and if you've been following my channel, you know that for the month of September I wanted to do like a little mental health series where I just talk about a lot of the issues or 4 big issues that I see amongst my age group and just the world, and just kind of give my take on it, my experience and my thoughts about the issue. And I try to be really creative with how I present the information. Well, for this specific video, I actually don't have any specific way I'm going to do it. I did have a way that I wanted to do it, but as every week go by and I think of how I want to do this video, you know, my videos come out on Sundays. So before Sunday, I think about, okay, how do I want to present the information? And each week has been different. Like before I started this month, I had like a full outline and I had everything planned out for each video. Well, as each week went on, I actually changed the videos because the universe just wanted me to do it in a different way. They wanted me to just sit here and talk to y'all. I wanted to be more creative and kind of be in different spaces, maybe have a different background, whatever. But this is just how I want to do it for some reason. I just want to sit and talk and just hope that my message gets out to somebody one way or another. And I have learned a lot about myself as I have been recording these videos and just talking through these videos and writing the scripts for the other 3 videos that I have uploaded on my channel. This video is not scripted. This video is real, raw. Nothing has been premeditated. Everything that I'm going to say today is coming straight from my heart and my mind as I speak to y'all today. And I really hope that I can carefully and intelligently articulate what I am trying to say. I don't even have a title made. I just know that I want to talk about being alone, how to be alone, and what you will learn about yourself, how you can learn about yourself, things you should do while you're alone, in hopes that you guys learn how to be comfortable with yourself and put yourself first when it comes to your health and your mental state. So before I get started, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. This is my baby. YouTube is my life. This is how I am able to get my message out and let everybody see the real me. Also, follow my Instagram, Kalia Health. That is where I also share my passion for health and wellness, and where I just show my lifestyle and how I am changing and how I plan to live in a couple months when I graduate college. Alright, so let's get started. So like I said, my name is Kalia. I am a senior in college studying social work, and since I was in high school, I have always cherished and loved to be alone. And honestly, I'm not really sure how I got to that, but I will say, like, I am the oldest sibling out of all my siblings. It's so hard for me to like tell somebody how many siblings I have, because like I honestly lost count to the point where if somebody asks me, I just name out all of them and then there you go. But I am the oldest. I have 8 siblings, and I love all of them dearly. But like I said, I'm the oldest. And I have been in between homes. I used to live with my mom until I was 14, and then I moved with my dad. And when I moved with my dad is a very, very, very hard worker. So he worked a lot, and I was either at home, at school, or at work. I started working when I was 16, and I just really spent a lot of time by myself. My sister, the one that was with me my whole life, she is 18, and we are complete opposites. So I didn't grow up with that sibling where I did everything with this sibling. I mean, we lived together, and you know, we went with our family, we did all that together. But when it comes to shopping, hanging out with friends, going to get nails and toes done, all that type of things that you would typically do with your sister, I didn't do that with my sister. Like, we were just not, we both had our own journeys. She is her own person, and I'm my own person. So I mean, we're close, but we're not just like ace boom coons. Like, we don't just do everything together. Never really have. And you know, maybe one day in life we might get to that point. And there's nothing wrong with that. She played basketball. I was more of a study geek, so I like to do work, and I worked, and school was everything to me. So that was kind of my personality, and her personality was more basketball. So like I said, two different people. So I mean, with that being said, I kind of spent a lot of time by myself. So, you know, she might have been gone and I was at home, or vice versa. And my dad was at work, and my siblings, they're all younger than me. And when I lived with my mom, of course, like, I helped her take care of my siblings, you know, when she was at work, or if she was asleep or whatever, I would help, you know, like change diapers, feed them, whatever. I did all of that. So fast forward to college. So my freshman year, I had a random roommate, but we ended up being from the same city and kind of had a similar circle. So we ended up being really cool. But even then, I still love to be by myself. And I think for me, I just really valued like peace, and I really value like my own mindset and my own character. Like, I really enjoyed like learning about myself and just like doing what I wanted to do. My dad wasn't strict, but I was in the house all the time, like my high school career. Like, I never really went out. I never really hung out with friends. I was always like by myself, like always. I mean, I have a best friend. We were together all high school, but I didn't see her like every weekend. I didn't hang out with her every day after school. It was always like, okay, after school, we kind of went our separate ways. I went home, she went home. I mean, we did hang out, but it wasn't just like how most best friends usually are. And it really wasn't for a particular reason. I think it's just because I really didn't like asking my dad, could I do this and that? Because I mean, he raised me to be very respectful, and he didn't like me wearing out my welcome. So if I went to my friend's house one weekend, you would not catch me over there the following weekend unless it was for like a really particular reason. So like I said, I was just always by myself. Like, I just really didn't like grow up with having somebody by my side all the time. Like, that's just not how I grew up. And so college is senior year, and I'm still that same way. Like, I have a best friend, I have a roommate, I have sorority sisters, like I have all of that. I have all these people around me. I have a boyfriend, but all in all, I still love to be by myself. Like, I just really value like being in my own bed, being in my own room. I like to go grocery shopping by myself. I like to go to the nail salon by myself. I like to go eat by myself. I even went to the movies by myself. I would take a trip by myself if the world wasn't so crazy. And even with me having a boyfriend, like, I still like to be by myself. Like, we're not together all the time. And that's mainly just because we're in different cities. Because I'm in college. We see each other almost every weekend, but even still, like, I still like to be alone. So that's just a little background on me, a little bit as to how this journey has went. And so now I want to get into like why it's important to be alone, and maybe get into like what you can do to start your journey of self-improvement, self-growth by yourself. So I really like to be alone because it really helps me be comfortable in my skin. Like, it really showed me that if I don't have nobody around me, I still have to love myself. If I don't have people telling me they love me, I have to tell myself that I am loving, I am deserving, and I am worthy of whatever I want in life. And so being by myself, I had to really like teach myself that, and I didn't have to force myself to do it. That's just kind of what came to me naturally. So I think it's important to be alone because it teaches you things about yourself that you never knew you had. And like, I think what I mean by that is you learn how to be independent, and you learn how to give yourself things that you're not getting from the outside world. So like, when you're in your room or when you're out by yourself, you have to do things by yourself. Like, you have to go grocery shopping by yourself. You have to figure out car trouble by yourself. I mean, like, I have my dad. I definitely call him if I need help, but now I'm learning how to do those things alone. And then if I can't figure it out, then I will call him. I learned how to cook. I'm learning how to cook. I'm learning how to, I mean, like, just anything. Like, I'm just learning how to do those things by myself. And I've always been independent. My daddy instilled that in me. Like, he instilled in me that I don't need a man, not even him. So I have pretty much had that mindset since I was a younger girl. But being alone, you just have to figure out what that looks like for you. So what are some things that you think that you can do by yourself to the point where you don't need anybody else with you? And how comfortable do you feel in those moments? I personally like to go out by myself because I have a clear mind and I don't have nobody holding me back. Like, if I'm going to the grocery store, I prefer to go by myself because I don't have to wait on nobody. And that sounds really selfish, but me, I'm very disciplined and routine oriented. So if I have a routine set and I know that I only want to be in this store for a certain amount of time, I want to go by myself. That way I don't have to worry about anyone else like holding me back or keeping me behind or keeping me from doing the next thing that I need to do. And you know, it might not be the same way for you. You might be the type of person where you want to go to the grocery store with somebody. My roommate is like that. She does not like going to the grocery store by herself. And so I go with her sometimes. But also it's just like being alone just teaches you how to be comfortable. I think that's what the underlying message is. If I could say anything, it would be that being alone teaches you how to be comfortable in your own skin. Like I said, you tell yourself things that other people are not telling you. I tell myself I love you all the time. I tell myself I am worthy all the time. And you also just learn different techniques that you can do to improve your self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-love. So me personally, I am on this really, really, really big self-discovery and self-journey where I'm just learning about me and what I want out of life and how I'm going to get those things that I want out of life. And I'm using God, the universe, my ancestors. I'm just using everything that is around me and inside of me to make myself transform into who I am destined to be. And so that is something that I have to do alone. I can't do that with 100 people coming in my room. I can't do that if I'm out with somebody all the time. Like, when you're out by yourself, you don't have a choice but to learn how to do things on your own. You don't have a choice but to learn what qualities you have to help you do whatever task that you need to do. And so that is why I am so big on being alone. And also, like, you don't want to depend on another person for whatever it is that you think you can do for yourself. Like, I know people who are so used to somebody else giving them that validation that they need. So that's why they feel like they can't be alone. And when they're alone, they're sad, they're depressed. They don't feel loved, they don't feel worthy, but that's because their whole life they have depended on other people to give them the validation that they needed for themselves. And I am not like that. I don't need other people around me to tell me that I can do this or I can keep going. You know, sometimes we all have our moments where we need a pick me up and we need some motivation, but I have grown and learned how to be that person where I can do that for myself. And if I can't do that myself, then that's when I incorporate those coping mechanism in those techniques to help me get to that point where I am able to get in a better state. So I am reading when I'm alone. That is something that I have just started back incorporating. I read every single night for at least 30 minutes, and I have been doing that for the past week, and it has felt amazing. So that is a new habit that I'm adding into my self routine where when I'm alone. So I'm reading. Of course, I work out. I work out by myself. I do not like working out with people unless I am training them, and I haven't got to that point where I am training people. So I do not like working out with people. Like, I will tell anybody I do not. And the reason being is because it gets you off track, especially if that person isn't used to being in the gym. They want to talk about whatever. They don't want to. They might get tired easily or quicker than you, which is fine. But you might be on a mission like, okay, I'm in here for 30 minutes doing this really intense workout and I'm ready to go. So I like to work out by myself. Like I said, I definitely love to go shopping and I love to go out to eat by myself. And the purpose of doing all these things alone, like I have previously said, is just basically to learn yourself and learn how to be comfortable being by yourself. And I feel like you need to learn how to be alone before you get into any type of relationship, before you take on any roles, because you don't want to use those people for the validation, because if you get into a relationship with somebody and you feel like they're not showing you love, or they're not meeting you where you're at, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes that can be just because you can't and won't do those things for yourself. Say for instance, you're in a relationship and you feel like this person is supposed to be taking you out to eat every single week because that's just what you require in your relationship. That's very toxic for one, and unhealthy. But also, it's just like, take yourself out to eat. Take yourself on a date. Of course, you want to be showered with love, but how can you expect somebody else to do that for you if you don't even do that for yourself? I personally love to go out to eat by myself, and matter of fact, I'm doing it this weekend. I'm taking myself to either brunch or dinner one day this weekend. Today is Thursday, so either Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm taking myself to brunch. But though, like, that's just an example. Like, you do not need to expect so much from people, and that's another thing with being alone. When you learn how to be by yourself and you learn how to be comfortable in your own skin, you don't expect anything from anybody, and what does that lead to? Not being disappointed. If you in a relationship where you expecting somebody to do everything for you, spend money on you, take you out to eat, take you shopping, take you here, take you there, it's because you're not doing that for yourself, and you don't know how to do that for yourself, and you don't know how to be alone. So enough of me rambling. In conclusion, I don't know if this is the end of this video, but I think the number one thing I want to get out is learn how to be comfortable with yourself. Practice self-love every single day. If you have to write and speak affirmations every day, do that. Like, do it every single day, morning or or nights. And take yourself on dates. Take yourself to the movies. Take yourself out to eat. Go out and buy you one nice thing. It can be $1. It can be $5. Go buy yourself something nice. And tell people no. So, like, you don't always have to go out. You don't always have to not turn up by yourself. Like, learn how to turn up by yourself. Close your door, turn on some music, and dance while you clean up. Or just dance. Watch music videos and just get lit by yourself. Like, I think the main thing I want to tell y'all is, if you cannot do those things for yourself, you cannot expect someone else to do it. And if you do expect someone to do all of these things for you, that means that you don't know how to be comfortable in your skin, and you don't know how to be alone. That's just point blank, period. I think I finally found what I want to say. Like, that's what I want to say. Like, if you don't know how to shower yourself with love and all the beautiful things that you want somebody else to do for you, that means that you aren't doing it for yourself. Until you can get to a point where you are comfortable doing most, if not all, things alone without feeling the need to get validation, then I don't even know how I begin with that. But if you can't do that, if you can't go somewhere without needing validation, then it's time for you to go on a journey of being alone. And I would say start by just, if you go out a lot, start by not going out a lot. Like, start by limiting how often you go out with your friends. And then I would say put aside 30 minutes every single day for you to do something for yourself. So make a 30-minute routine for yourself every single day. So I'll tell you a quick rundown of my morning and night routine. Morning, you guys know I wake up, use my higher power, go to the gym, come back, cook me a good breakfast, and then I start my day. At nighttime, lately I've been brushing my teeth, washing my face, make sure my room is straight and clean before I go to bed, and then I read. So those are things that I do every day alone with nobody else here, and that is what I do to feel the self-love that I would particularly look for in somebody else, which I don't, but that's just an example. So I would say start by doing that, like making yourself a 30-minute routine, either in morning, at night, or in the middle of the day, whenever you can, of 30 minutes to yourself of doing something that's going to help you become a better person and help you feel the love that you may seek from someone else. Once you get to that point, you need to increase that and make it a habit. And if you don't have 30 minutes out of your day to do that, that's a problem. And I say that because I am totally against being a slave. I'm totally against giving all of our time to something and someone else, whether that's a company or if that is whatever job you're at or your college career. I am totally against giving all of your time to that because life is too short and that is not what we were created to be. But that is definitely going to be a whole nother video. I promise y'all there's going to be another video. I have minimized like so much of my time to the point where I only work at my retail job 2 days a week. Like I said in my last video, 2 days a week, and I have a work study job that's work from home. And classes, I give them about 2 to 3 hours a day. That's it. I do not spend all my time worrying about school. But that's just because I'm in a whole nother mindset and I'm on a whole nother level, and I'm elevating to a point where I do not want to spend my time doing something for someone else. And so, like I said, that's a whole nother video. So if you are analyzing your time and you don't have 30 minutes to yourself every day, you don't have 30 minutes of time to be alone, that's a problem in itself, and you need to DM me and comment on this video right now because we're gonna try to figure out how we can fix that. But I hope you guys can get something out of me rambling. I hope you guys can get something out of me just spitting out this information. But like I said, if you actually watch this video from beginning to end, you will understand that I just want you guys to be comfortable to the point where you don't need validation from others. You don't need other people telling you what you want to hear. You're telling yourself what you want to hear, and you're doing those things that you don't expect other people to do from you or for you. No expectations, no disappointments. I have lived by that since I was in high school. Don't expect anything from anybody. If you want something, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please like and comment on it. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. And like I said, follow me on Instagram. And please look forward to all the videos that I'm going to be producing after this video. This is the last video of my series, and I hope y'all enjoyed it.